I keep telling you guys to leave dating and relationships alone, but some of you just won't listen. Many of you think it's a joke out here, but you guys will learn the hard way if you continue to waste valuable time that should be spent chasing the bag on women and relationships. Are you aware of the current state of the world? It is projected to get worse in 2023, and here you are chasing peace leave and trying to broke date. I don't know what to say anymore, because if you can't realize the seriousness of this economic collapse, then I don't know what to tell you other than stop caring about modern XXs and leave dating and relationships alone. It's not hard, brothers. You need to control your salami instead of making it control you, because it will always lead you down the path of self-destruction if you're not careful. Women can wait, gents. They're not going anywhere, and it's not like you're missing out on anything anyways. Like I said in the previous video, women will always find a way to adapt and survive, even if they have to use you, so always keep that in the back of your head. And let's say that you didn't listen to me and you decide to date and move a woman in. Your expenses are going to double overnight with her using out all of your available resources. What if she loses her job, or you lose your job and can't find one immediately? You'll have to cover all of the expenses on your own for both of you, but if you lose your job, do you really think she's going to do the same? Nope, most likely she'll leave you and find another man with money to take care of her while you're at risk of becoming homeless because of her or your incompetence as a man. So does it make sense to take on dead weight right now when things are so uncertain? Not to mention, you're probably not going to get anything of value besides some wet vice grip occasionally. You guys really need to think long and hard if going into a relationship right now is a smart idea financially, because so many people are struggling and desperate. And like I always say, desperate people are dangerous people, and entering a relationship right now is playing with fire with so many selfish people out here. What about dating? I see a lot of you hope strategists are still on dating apps sorting through the trash, hoping to find a unicorn that will treat you like a king. How has that been working out so far? Put a 1 in the comment section if you found a good woman on a dating app that is a keeper, who is a virgin or has only been with 2 men, has very few red flags, is God-fearing, loyal, submissive, is feminine, and knows her place as your queen. I can't wait to see how many ones will be in the comment section, because I know for a fact not one of you hope strategists have found a so-called unicorn that's a ride-or-die chick to date. I'd be shocked if one of you put the number 1 in the comment section. And you better give us details on how you guys met, what type of person she is, and how she treats you for me to believe you. But in all seriousness, why are you guys still dating modern women when it's already been established you're not going to get much out of it? Most of you will be wasting your meat, which is your money, energy, attention, and time trying to get to know a stranger who probably isn't even interested in you. And shout out to Coach Gray Adams for that easy-to-remember terminology. This has been proven so many times that I lost count, and you're telling me that you can't find a better way to get betwixt a woman's legs. I know you nasty boys want to bust gallons of nuts all up inside these women, but for crying out loud, is wasting your meat, or even worse, broke dating, the solution to your problems? When will you guys learn your lesson and realize you need to stop caring so much about these women who don't give a crap about you and are only looking out for themselves and their snotty-nosed kids? Brothers, you need to get your priorities in order and put yourselves first instead of these XXs who are just trying to use you to survive these harsh economic conditions. To me, peace leave is not worth being broke or potentially going homeless just to bust a nut and feel good for 10 seconds. There's no way in hell. And you guys forget that the moment you can no longer provide for these women, nothing is stopping them from leaving you. This is why I preach and urge you guys to stop dating and instead practice mating. Get a subscription girlfriend and pay her to leave instead of wasting time and money on the chance that you may or may not get a woman to lie on her back and have her legs on your shoulders. If you want to treat a woman to an expensive dinner date, then no problem. Go ahead if you've explored every crevice and corner of her nude body, but you would be a fool to date and fill XX's bellies for free and get absolutely nothing in return while she carries the leftovers to give Chad and get pounded out for free. If you're still doing that goofy shit in 2022, then you're an idiot. You should be guarding your wallet as if your life depended on it, because it very well may. Haven't you heard the elite say you'll be eating insects and you'll like it? Don't take it seriously. Waste your money dating 304s and see what happens to you. You would have nobody to blame but yourselves, because I've been preaching day in and day out to stop broke dating and going into relationships, because the economy is not in a good place right now. You should be preparing for an economic collapse at any moment, just like in 2008. But as they say, you can lead a donkey to the well, but you can't force the donkey to drink water. So I can only give you the information, but the rest is left up to you to apply the information to your life so it can benefit you. Before we get into why these XXs are going crazy when men don't care, I want you to know nobody is coming to save you. Nobody will help you out of your situation if you hit rock bottom, so let that sink in. You will be left all alone to deal with your problems, and nobody is going to care or try to help you. They would rather help bury you than help you while you're still here breathing. I've seen it happen to so many men, so don't let that be your reality over some ran-through puss. Trust me, it will never be worth it. With that said, let's dive into why these women are going crazy. The main reason women are going crazy is that there's no longer a guaranteed safety net for most of them. An article that came out last month stated that by the year 2030, approximately 45% of women in America will be single. Yes, you heard that right, 45% will be unmarried gents. Do you have any idea what that means for these XXs long-term now that men are waking up and deciding to stop marrying women? It means they will have to either depend on the government for support when they're old, they'll have to rely on their kids to take care of them, or these XXs better plan for their own retirement and make sure they have enough money to pay for health care and to keep the lights on. Here's the deal, women are notoriously bad with money, and most of them don't plan for their retirement, so it's a wrap. Listen, gents, they used to have husbands that would provide these things back in the days when they were actually staying in their marriages, but they destroyed that, and now there is no more guaranteed safety net. It wasn't perfect, and not every husband got to secure their retirement, but you cannot look at what we have now and think this is better just because women are making their own money. The problem is they aren't saving any of it, so all of their work will be in vain, and it's going to be ugly in the next 40 to 50 years. However, I want these women to remember who chose this path because men did not force this onto you. You guys chose this, and unless they turn back and go back to men or prepare for their retirement, most of them will be in a very tough spot, and they have nobody else to blame but themselves. If it were me, I would be going crazy too if I'm old and could not retire because I'm broke and have no means of long-term health care. And again, whose fault is this? It's their fault. Will the government step in and rescue hundreds of millions of women? I don't know, but I do know that they are the ones who will be greatly affected, especially if they don't have any kids. As men, we are expected to die alone anyways. Most people won't care about us when we are old, not even our kids, till we'll be good at age 80, single and alone if we prepare for it, which most men who have their heads screwed on right will. Some people will say that we'll be single and lonely, so we need a woman. That's not true because many people feel lonely in their marriages too, and a lot of older men get divorced great all the time and lose their retirement, so I think being lonely should be the least of our worries. Will it be lonely? Yes, it probably will be for a lot of men, and some men might feel regret. However, chances are you'll be left alone by your family anyway, and it is what it is. Men typically are neglected even if they have families, so if you are on this path and you're worried about dying alone, plan ahead or roll the dice on a relationship. Gents, there is no perfect ending for most people, so you can either get all your finances in order and have a comfortable retirement and decide if you want to hire in-house care or go to a senior citizen home or roll the dice and try to make a relationship or marriage work. The choice is yours to make at the end of the day. It's your one life, not mine. All I can say to you is make sure you have your retirement fund set aside because you'll need it, and you'll also need long-term care. I have a YouTube channel I'm trying to monetize. I'll link it in the description and pin comments so you guys can show a brother some love and go subscribe. I only need a few more of you to subscribe, and I'll be at 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for the support, brothers. I appreciate all of you. On the other hand, women need people to support them, especially when they're older. And many of them live sad lives if they're neglected by their families or broke, which they usually are at an older age if they didn't marry or have kids. So if you are a woman watching this, because I know a few of you ninja watch, you better start saving for your retirement before it's too late, or humble yourselves and get a man that has his head set straight, take good care of him, don't stab him in the back and ride it out until one of you die. But you can't tell him anything, so have at it. When you're struggling, you'll have to look yourself in the mirror and admit that you lived up your life. And the last 20 years of your existence will be pain and misery because you took life for granted. So men, don't feel sorry or try to save these people from the poor decisions that they make, because even if you save them, they'll still betray you in the end based on statistical data, so I would advise that you look out for yourself and leave these XXs alone. Or roll the dice, and whatever happens to you, you'll know who to point the finger at if it goes south, because I told you to stay away from marriage and long-term relationships. So stop caring about these people and go live your life. That's the best advice I can give, because modern XXs don't have the mindset or discipline necessary to ensure that both your lives are thriving. They'll sabotage and destroy your life before making it better, then later regret their decisions when the consequences come knocking on our door. Gents, don't allow women to drag you down with them into the belly of the beast. That's all I have to say. The rest is up to you guys. If you're new and like our content, subscribe, tap the bell, and then tap all so you never miss any of our videos. Also, if you want to watch part 1 of why modern women are going crazy, then click the video on the screen right now.